the cloud. There we go. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Please type in chat. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you're watching from Facebook Live, we also want to know where you're coming in from. Not only where you're coming in from and listening to this wonderful Zoom from the comfort of your home for wherever it is, but also what is your favorite organo beverage? Because what we know for a fact is that the organo beverage is changing lives on so many levels, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's personal development, whether it's creating a multiple income stream. It's going to be different for everyone. But here's what I know, it's going to offer something for everyone. And that's basically my story. While we're waiting for our guest speaker to join us, I'll let everybody know a little bit about my background. My background is in the nutrition field, loved every minute of it, spent 20 years in that field until I hit a wall. I became a single mom, was not expecting that at all. And at that time, I had nothing to fall back on. I actually approached Dr. Bob personally and I asked him for his advice. How do I stay in the field of health and wellness and actually make some real income? Because I was tired of hitting a financial ceiling. I was tired of not being able to finish paying off my credit cards after 10 years from borrowing from Paul to pay Peter. Like it was just enough was enough. And that's when Dr. Bob said to me, Diane, have you heard of organo? Well, I didn't. All I know is that I said yes, because we have a powerful leader tonight that's leading the way. And it was the best decision I ever made. Fast forward 7 years today, we're able to help many people not only get out of financial stress, but also be able to up level their game through a habit we all know, love, and do. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce my mentor, one of the top leaders in health and wellness around the world globally, growing and leading by storm, Dr. Bob Rakowski, Blue Diamond. Thank you so much for doing this again tonight. You are so wonderful at being able to support the team, cast the vision, and help train everyone, so committedly, Dr. Bob. And I think that's the reason why most of us are doing so well in different areas of our lives. But the truth is you're moving all of us forward, whether it's in health, wealth, product, knowledge, whatever it is. So thank you for doing that. I'm going to hand it over to you. Thank you for doing this tonight.
Oh, Diane, well, you are beyond welcome. Thank you. Always, I always love your story. You gave the abbreviated version, but what a wonderful way for you to, create your dream life while helping literally thousands all over the world to better circumstances. So my background, this is now my 31st year in clinical practice. I've seen all ends of the spectrum in terms of, really elite human beings, professional athletes, and people sent home to die. I've taught doctors all over the world. And you know what, that was a fantastic career, but maybe it had a few challenges to it, like a huge time commitment. And then since I was teaching, a huge travel commitment. And, I really enjoy time with my absolutely beautiful and expanding family. And now Organo has done that. We'll talk about how to create more time freedom than you ever imagined while helping lives get better. But turn back my clock, I actually had a scare that made me get more proactive about my finances. I had a shoulder injury, I had an x-ray taken, and the x-ray report had really a lot of words on it, but the one that really got my attention was bone scan, or the two that got my attention, bone scan. And if a doctor is recommending a bone scan, he's actually looking for metastatic cancer. And I would have thought that would have been an impossibility. But as I turned back my clock, a few years earlier than that, my best friend died of cancer. He had a skin cancer, a melanoma, didn't pay attention to it. And by the time it was diagnosed, it had already spread through his brain and body, and not fun. So, you know what? Things do happen. So I started thinking, what am I going to do if literally I can no longer take care of my family? And then I remembered the wisdom, your network is your net worth. And so my question to you is, are you open to this concept working for you? Next question, do you think people are more or less interested in health and or wealth? And I know the answer from my own survey, but I'd be curious later to hear your answer. But here are some very interesting stats. This was 2020. 70 million Americans had what they call a side hustle. So that's nearly 50% of the workforce. And I'm thinking the other people that didn't have a side hustle were maybe wanting one. And what do people do? Well, they sell a service, they resell different types of items, they might take different types of surveys, they have their own gig, which could be numerous, or they could do something called multi-level marketing. And that's really where you partner with a successful company And you sell products, that's for sure. That you want a company that has good products, but then also if you choose, you can build a team. Most people that join network marketing actually do it for the products, but there are some that do choose to build a team. I always like wisdom. I like studying under people that know. So this is a reality series called Undercover Billionaire. And the guy they're picturing there is Grant Cardone. And Grant basically had 90 days to create $1 million business. 90 days. And by the way, he put his entire reputation on the line, and he basically told the producers, if I don't make a $10 million business in 90 days, I'll give you $1 million. And he pulled out $1 million cash. So he really took it serious. And he said, you know what, if I'm going to do it in 90 days, I'm going to partner with a successful company that has successful products and help them expand. And that's what he did. And he didn't create a $1 million business. He created a $5 million business in 90 days. But so imagine that you're going to take on some type of gig where you're going to be selling a product. So option one, sell people on a new product or a new service. You know, if it's new, they're not familiar with it, some level of convincing usually involved. Or how about option two, help people save money on a better version of products that they are already using. So I want you to think about that. Which of those do you think would be easier? And you might even type that in the chat. You know, a better choice or something brand new that they don't know anything about. So the company Organo is the company that we have partnered with. They're now in their 14th year. Picture of their corporate headquarters in over 40 countries and adding value all over the world. And that's really what I want to talk about, is the value that they add. So they started out with a philosophy, you know, we're going to make health easy and delicious. And then they expanded to what they're now calling an ecosystem. When I say an ecosystem, everybody that has anything to do with Organo is going to benefit, whether you're growing beans for our coffee or rehandling our recycled coffee sachets. People all over the globe, everybody part of our business benefits in terms of health, wealth, beauty, and paradise. So Organo did their first billion in sales with essentially this question: do you know anyone who drinks coffee or tea at least occasionally? And if I were to ask you that question, and if you'd say you don't, I would be beyond shocked, because they even have global coffee maps scaled by how much coffee in certain regions people drink. And you notice the entire globe is covered. Over 2 billion cups every single day of coffee, and very, very similar for tea. Now ask someone, do you know anybody that wants to lose weight drinking dessert? Because we've had people lose over 100 pounds. And one of my personal favorites is Frank. And you look at those pictures, that's a 10-month progression, if you can imagine that. Losing 100 pounds in 10 months, and then on stage telling the world how he did it drinking dessert. We live in a fascinating world where I can't tell you what this does to blood sugar, because that might be a health claim, but here's what I can tell you. When my blood sugar patients drink latte, mocha, hot chocolate, shakes, and we check their sugar before and after, they're beyond shocked. They tell me that these products have about a similar effect on their blood sugar to when they eat a meal of broccoli and chicken. So absolutely phenomenal. And if you ever wanted to have an interesting search, look on pubmed.gov and look at Ganoderma lucidum and diabetes, and you might find some remarkable studies. Our next question is, do you know anybody who wants beautiful confidence? So what leads to beautiful confidence? How about absolutely beautiful skin? And by the way, beautiful, I understand, is spelled uniquely there because that's the name of the skincare line, BU. So an interesting documentary called Toxic Beauty, and what they quite simply said is there's 88 different chemicals that are linked to cancer, birth defects, reproductive harm in both men and women. And these are in cosmetics that young girls are putting on their face and body. So very powerful documentary. So here's the question. Do you know anybody that would prefer toxic poison on their skin or something profoundly nourishing? So at this point, we've already gone through 3 of Organo's verticals and a few more to go. And there's a picture of their beautiful products. We own a travel company now where you can get luxury travel at up to 80% off. So when the world was struggling through the pandemic and people were not traveling, Organo was doing very, very well, and they continued to take care of all of our travel partners, over 100,000 all over the globe. And they said, you know what, we're going to make an investment for our future. So when you open up, we want the best deal, up to 80% off for our Organo ecosystem. And our partner said, absolutely, you've got it. So whatever your mode of luxury travel or vacation, it's potentially there for you. And then finally, I love this question. What if your brain came with a software update? Because you can get a software update every single day. This Organo vertical is called cognition. And what's proven is a better brain 6 minutes a day and 3 times a week. So literally 18 minutes a week, and you have a better brain after 5 weeks. Proven with over 50 published medical studies over the last 20 years. Carol and Jean Sarah are a couple of my wonderful patients. Carol's a beautiful and amazing 77. But she said, Dr. Bob, my memory's starting to go. I lose my keys more often, and I forget names or words. You have any suggestions? So we had suggested Organo coffee, which she was already drinking, and NeuroTracker. That's the brain training device. And what she said was most amazing was not only did she notice very fast response, but her physical balance, her ability to navigate without stumbling improved dramatically. And I want you to think about how powerful that could be if people had better balance, because slips and falls are exceptionally problematic as people age. So what do we offer? Time freedom, money freedom, location freedom, health, beautiful confidence, total freedom. That's what we offer in this amazing company and package. Simple picture of our products there. Now, Warren Buffett says, if you're going to look for a company, consider these things. The products, we talked about those. And by the way, we have patented competitive advantages. The company in over 40 countries, will show you the map, 14 years of business success. When you start looking at the money, how much does it cost you to join? Well, here's a quick answer, $20.22, at least for the next few days. Then it goes up to $49.95. That's your membership into the company. And then whatever initial product offerings you want. When you look at support, Diane did a beautiful job with the introduction. We've got a whole team that supports each other, whether we're talking about Zooms, Facebook groups, chat groups, questions, answers, 3-way messengers, or whatever you need. We have a team that supports and a whole company that supports throughout the entire world. And then the timing. Do you know anybody that wants more control of their health or wealth? If so, the timing is right for this. I like this book. It's called Royalty Income, subtitled The Business of Getting Paid More Than Once. Dr. Steve Herschuk, a full-time anesthesiologist, actually in very part-time, was able to walk away with a complete income replacement for his anesthesiology business in the network marketing model. Well, I ask you a question. If you look at what people are drinking, 3.3 cups a day of coffee in North America every single day, never needing to be reminded, never planning to quit, and I'll say never even missing a dose, that's over 1,200 cups a year. Do the work once, get paid many more times than once when it's coffee and tea. There's a picture of our countries, and we actually have ways of getting products to people in other countries that aren't listed here. That's called our Frontiers Market approach. So we're even more global than this picture shows. One of my favorite ways to share coffee and share the opportunity is with this simple text. Imagine someone sent you a text that said coffee ? How would you reply? And I usually get something like, I love coffee, what's up? Hey, I've got a delicious gourmet coffee I want to share with you. How can we get together? Would usually be my answer. Or you might say something like this. I've invested or partnered with a healthier gourmet coffee and tea company. I'd love to gift you some samples. And if you like them, I'd like to earn your business. Just that simple. So if you think you can do that, you might be able to get some customers, and customers can become business partners. So example here, if you had 10 coffee customers just with the black coffee, drinking 3.3 cups a day, You're going to make more than a typical Uber driver does. And by the way, you will do the work once and get paid more than once. When you look at Warren Buffett, he says he looks for durable competitive advantage. So we have a number of different patents, and therefore what we do cannot be duplicated. The business model, I like to show this graphic because this represents one of my mentors, Eric Worre. He's one of the best trainers in the game and one of the best stories in network marketing. But he says, you know what? I had to learn some skills. When I started at age 23, I was a chronic underachiever and I was done with it. I figured out I was going to learn the skills, which he calls these skills the most profitable for the effort it takes to learn. And then he was going to succeed. So his first 4 years, he couldn't really get anything going. But then finally, he learned the skills of network marketing. He got 10 people, and then it exponentially grew to the point where he had a global business before the age of 30 and wonderfully successful riches. Organo is a company that has something called a global growth bonus. You can earn it if you start fresh, or they're the only company that we're aware of in the entire industry, 100+ country industry, $200 billion a year industry of network marketing that offers this type of bonus for existing team members already. We had an event in Houston last week, and all these people on stage, you'll see different demographics. They all won the global growth bonus. This gentleman here, 20 years old, no prior experience, earned the extra bonus by putting daily multiple posts on TikTok. So again, I'm going to ask the question, are people more or less interested in health or wealth? And if they're interested in both, do you think that they would be a good fit for what we offer? If they are, the membership, $20.22. And then they have what they call Accelerator Packs, good, better, or best. All of these product packs accelerate your earnings, and they come with the volume of product that the pack costs. So a bronze pack, typically $250. You get that much product. You get paid more money in more ways. Silver is typically $500, a good variety of products. Again, more money, more ways. And then the gold pack, that's where I started. That's where Diane Solano started. That's where a lot of the leaders start. Now you get paid the most money, the most ways. And if you want to accelerate your earnings, that's definitely what I recommend. I like to wrap up the business portion with 4 questions, and I'll go over these now. And then if you want to stick around, we have a team training afterwards. But the first question is why? Why did you take the time to join us tonight? There's so many things you could do. Second question is the answer to the first. Why not? Why not look at a better option for so many people that can change lives all over the world and even your own? Next question is why not you? Someone's going to say, you know what? I like better choices. I like cleaner skincare. I want to be part of a company that's doing good for the world. And here's the final question. Why not now? The longer you wait to act on information, the least likely you are to act on it. So if you've been invited to this Zoom, get back to the person that invited you and let them know you're interested in products, business, or both. And if you're watching a replay, same thing. Whoever introduced you to the replay, reach back to them and let them know. I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, wrapping this section up, knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful. And then we're going to transition to team training.